And Grizzlies and 76ers.
54-39. Morant to the top of the arc for Bane. Pump fakes three. Drives. Running right-hand floater is good. Desmond Bane now with 21. His first bucket of the second quarter.
Plus, Eric Bieniemy is introduced as the new offensive coordinator and addresses the media.
The only thing I need to be concerned with is what's important today. Today, I got to be the best person that I can be. I got to be the best coach that I can be.
This is Sports Center all night.
Oh, yeah, and the crowd is going bonkers.
Aaron Rodgers emerges from the darkness. Kevin Durant getting closer to his son's debut. Welcome to Sports Center all night on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. I am Jim Basketball. ESPN Radio presented by Progressive Insurance. Those stories ahead. But first up, the return of the NBA with the league's best and the Celtics needing to keep that pace in Indy.
Boston leading by 3. Halliburton down the right side to the corner. Turner is there, and he hits a 3.
I'm just thinking in my mind, go to the guy who's got 37 on 14 shot attempts. Give him another opportunity to see how hot he is. They're able to find him in the corner just in the flow of the game.
Turner has matched his career high with 40 points.
Yeah, it's 1070 the fan. Miles Turner, that career high with a 40. He made a career best 8 3-pointers as Indiana shot 22 of 49 overall from beyond that arc. They got the game to overtime, but that's when Jason Tatum went to work.
Smart has the basketball in the biggest possession of the night for the Celtics. Smart kicks it to Brogdon. Up top, it's Tatum. 7 to shoot it. Tatum looking to go. 4-3. Missed it. Air ball, but Smart has the rebound. Back up at the shot clock. Buzzer, no. Tipped in by Tatum. Timeout, Rick Carlisle.
Yeah, how about that? The Jason Tatum-led Celtics get it done in the extra session, as heard on 98.5 The Sports Hub, proved to an NBA best 43-17. Tatum, though, on the after effects of falling on his injured wrist.
That was scary. They always teach you not to, put your hand out, but it was so quick. And you guys probably said I jumped up so quick because I was scared, and I was just moving my hand because that's the one that's been bothering me for a year now, and falling right on it. I was really just like trying to see if I could open and close, if I had strength, if I could, and it was painful for 5-10 minutes, but got it looked at, and it's sore, but I'll be all right.
It was good enough to get things done in that extra session as he's got their 43rd win. KJ Maxx this morning, joined by Michael Blivens. You remember him from New Edition. He's a huge Celtics fan, and he joins the show at 9 Eastern, ESPN Radio, ESPN2, ESPNU. How about the Joker in play?
KCP quickly the other way for Denver. Left side over to Murray. Murray cross court to Chanchar. Chanchar back on top to Casey. Now Nikola Jokic at the point. Jokic has it inside the arc. In the corner, Murray. Head fake on the 3. Jump pass to Joker. And a 3. Got it again. 4-point lead for Denver, 109-105.
That's Altitude Radio Network. Nikola Jokic, 24 points, 18 rebounds, 13 assists. His latest triple-double. Michael Porter scored 25. Denver passed Cleveland 115-109. It was Jokic's 13th triple-double in the last 16 games and his league-leading 22nd overall. The Joker, the odds-on favorite for a third straight MVP. Does he need a title, though, to validate all that individual success? Max Kellerman and Quentin Richardson differ on this subject.
I don't believe so, man. Obviously you want him to have a championship and things like that, but and Jokic in particular, when you look at the teams and the cards he's been dealt, he's overachieved with that. You can't expect him to win a finals or to win a championship when Jamal Murray has been out, Michael Porter has been out. These are literally the second and third highest paid players on the team who are supposed to be your co-stars, and you going out there and you averaging a triple-double now, and the numbers that he put up previously without those guys available, I think it's unreasonable for you to penalize him and think that he was supposed to lift those guys to a championship team level when they clearly were not there without those guys present.
Jokic is about to be likely not just a 3-time MVP, 3 consecutive MVPs. I've never seen a disconnect between a guy who wins the MVP that many times in a row and a guy's place in basketball. When Larry Bird was doing that, he was universally considered the best player. Oh, what about Magic? No, Bird was considered better back then. I lived through it. I remember. Like he wasn't considered maybe not a top 5, but you realize Jokic is not in a lot of people's top 5. He floats in and out of my top 5, not my top 3. But if he chips up, now he retroactively gets credit for all those MVPs. It confers a different status on the whole thing. And he immediately goes to among the very greatest players who ever lived from that one chip because of all those MVPs. So there it is. That's the pressure.
How about more NBA talk this morning with TJ Maxx? ESPN senior writer Andre Snelling joins the show 2 times over, 8:15 and 8:45 Eastern.
And the Phoenix Suns are nearing a blockbuster deal to bring in Nets star Kevin Durant.
4 unprotected first-round picks, a pick swap, all going back to the Nets for Kevin Durant.
This is quite the haul for Brooklyn. If you were going to move Kevin Durant, you got back plenty to start fresh.
And this is a team in the desert that certainly is going to have some immediate championship aspirations. Kevin Durant is a Phoenix Sun.
And Kevin Durant took part in a 2-hour workout scrimmage where the Suns brought in referees to make it a game-like atmosphere on Thursday. KD playing 5-on-5 with his new teammates for the first time. The Suns ruled Durant out for later on tonight, their home game against the Thunder. He's expected to make his return during the team's coming 4-game road trip. Sunday's game is in Milwaukee. It's a possibility more likely next Wednesday in Charlotte as the return date. Jeff Van Gundy on TJ Maxx on a team from each conference that has pressure when the playoffs roll around, beginning with KD's Suns out west.
Out west, it would be, Durant and Booker and Chris Paul, that threesome in Phoenix. And then in the East, to me, it's Joel Embiid, not necessarily to win a championship, but to go further and play better in the playoffs, particularly in fourth quarters of close games than he has. So I would say that's who I would pick between.
More on Embiid and the Sixers coming back on Ja and the Grizz later in the show. You're listening to Sports Center all night on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. I'm Jim Baswell. Aaron Rodgers has emerged from his darkness retreat. The quarterback said he was not going to the retreat just to figure out whether he'll play in 2023 or retire. He is under contract with the Packers for nearly $60 million guaranteed if he plays next season. That's certainly a big motivator. Jeremy Fowler and Jeff Darlington on Rodgers' future.
After having a conversation with somebody in Green Bay who's significant and one of the decision makers, it did express to me that he believes that Aaron will be back. I hedge that, understanding that there's a lot of factors in play here, more than one man's opinion, albeit an important man. I think that Aaron Rodgers himself is such an interesting guy and a person who makes unique decisions that we kind of do have to wait and see what he thinks. I would say that I know the Packers are of the opinion that last offseason when they did that monster deal, that they felt like they had gone through all this drama and they felt like they committed to Aaron Rodgers in the form of that contract and that Aaron Rodgers in turn committed to them. That being said, I don't know what that word means exactly.
Aaron and Green Bay have to sit down and hash all this out. What does he want to do? Green Bay needs to find that out. The New York Jets need to find that out. By all indications I've received, Aaron Rodgers is the Jets' option A, and Derek Carr is their option B. And Derek Carr is waiting as well because he has other options, but his meeting with the Jets went well. So there are a lot of hands in the fire for the Jets and for the Packers as they sort of wait on Aaron. He's going to meet with Green Bay at some point. We don't know exactly when that's going to happen. It could be today. All we know is it's going to be before free agency. That's really the only certainty, but that's 3 weeks from now. So there could be still a little bit of a wait on this front.
So what if he finally parts ways with the Packers? Mark Tauscher, former Packer offensive lineman, ESPN Wisconsin on Fitz and Harry on Jordan Love, that other quarterback in Green Bay. Did they have the confidence to turn the reins to him?
The advancement and the progress that Jordan Love showed in the offseason, the preseason last year, and then in the limited amount of game time that he was able to play, I think everybody, fans and the administration up in Green Bay, feel a lot better and are kind of excited to see where Jordan Love is and if what Matt LaFleur's offense will look like with Jordan Love running it. I think that's a big reason why we saw some of that shift in kind of the approval ratings or who wants Aaron Rodgers gone from the fan base side, I think if Jordan Love was still struggling and didn't show any of that progress, I don't think those numbers would have moved. But there is now a larger contingent of Packer fans, again, it is February, that feel like let's trade Aaron, get the assets, and build around Jordan Love to see if we have the guy.
And now you just heard Jeremy Fowler also touch on what's next for Rodgers, talking about the New York Jets as a possible option if he leaves Green Bay. Yeah, he's connected to the Jets, which leads us to New York and our offseason QB question series.
Snap to Wilson, pressure by Judah, goes into the right, it's intercepted, caught by Garrett Wilson. First down, lost the football.
The offense is a wreck. They lose 4 in a row in December. They played their way right out of a playoff spot.
After the Jets failed to score a touchdown in their last 3 games, changes on offense started with coaching. Enter Nathaniel Hackett, the team's 9th offensive coordinator in 13 years. He arrives with one very important reference.
Love Hack. I mean, Hackett's my guy. We really bonded when he was in Green Bay. He made it fun.
In 3 seasons with Hackett as his offensive coordinator, Aaron Rodgers won 2 MVPs.
Here's a touchdown! Rodgers the magician. Oh, my goodness!
Rumors are swirling that the Packers are ready to move on from the future Hall of Famer. If that turns out to be true, the Jets will be involved, and Hackett puts them in prime position.
Zach Wilson cannot play. He is keeping a playoff team from even having an opportunity to compete.
Hackett's relationship with Rodgers is said to have Zach Wilson excited, which is good because Wilson isn't going anywhere.
Zach, we still have a lot of faith in him. We just want to make sure that we give him every opportunity to grow and develop. So we're very confident in Nathaniel and his ability to do that.
He's more expensive to cut than keep, and head coach Robert Saleh made clear the team isn't done with the former number 2 overall pick. So while number 2 will be back in a Jets uniform, who will be QB1? Derek Carr and Jimmy Garoppolo will be free agent options for Gang Green, but until Rodgers is off the market, the Jets will be hoping that once again, a quarterback wearing 12 can lead them to glory.
Yeah, so many quarterback questions that carousel turns this time of year in the off season. ESPN NFL reporter Kimberly A. Martin joining Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max this morning at 7:15 Eastern, ESPN Radio, ESPN2, ESPNU, 6 to 10 a.m. Eastern. It's Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Coming up, Luka and Kyrie eye their first win together as Mavs. The Sixers rally on Ja and the Grizz, and we hear from the NBA's future stars. That's next. This is SportsCenter All Night on ESPN Radio.
Coming up Friday, how far will KD and the Suns go? Will Harden finally be the X factor in the playoffs? I'll give you my bold NBA predictions. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, ESPNU.
This is SportsCenter All Night.
In the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage. You know, changing your oil with a full synthetic oil like Castrol Edge can help your engine get more miles. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP extended life oil filter for only $38.99. Get started on your next job today with the parts you need when you need them at AutoZone or AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Are you working way too hard for way too little? There's never been a better time to consider a career in IT. You could enjoy a recession-resistant career in a rewarding field with plenty of growth opportunities and often flexible work environments. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. You could start your new career in months, not years. Take classes online or on campus, and financial aid is available to qualified students, including the GI Bill. Now is the time. mycomputercareer.edu.
ESPN New York, everywhere. Whether you're driving in your car or riding the LIRR, ESPN New York is never out of reach.
We're going to try to touch as many of you as possible.
No matter your listening routine, never miss Stump Rothenberg for your morning run.
I have a lot of knowledge.
Never miss the Power Hour. Due to your power lunch. And never miss an ENN. Again. Hailing a cab, catching the train, or boarding a bus. The ESPN New York app is your ticket to ESPN New York everywhere. Download the app today.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You may not be required to pay it all back because there are special programs now in effect that will significantly reduce the amount you will owe if you qualify. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. These programs, which the credit card companies like to keep secret, exist to aid American consumers struggling with overwhelming credit card debt by offering tremendous savings and real debt relief. Accredited Debt Relief has established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you qualify for. They've helped qualify consumers with over $1 billion in debt and are A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. So don't wait. Get the relief you need during these hard economic times. For this free information, call the Accredited Debt Relief Hotline now. Call 800-901-3322. 800-901-3322. 800-901-3322.
For adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy, now there's Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months, and Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Nothing in me go hand in hand. Nothing on my skin, that's my new place. Nothing is everyday.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Nothing is everyday.
With Skyrizi, you could achieve 90% clearer skin. Ask your doctor about the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Attention. Per the current government mandate, U.S.-based insurers are now required to cover at-home COVID testing kits with no out-of-pocket fees to you. If you have a current insurance plan, you are eligible to receive up to 8 COVID-19 tests shipped to you each month absolutely free as long as the government mandate is in effect. Just visit yourfreetest.net to register now. That's yourfreetest.net to receive your tests shipped to you at no cost. Go to yourfreetest.net. Medicare insured or not eligible.
The all-new Weekend Wager comes to 98.7 ESPN on Friday nights at 10 p.m. It's presented by BetMGM Sports. Don't be left out of the action. This is SportsCenter all night on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Here's Jim Pasquale.
Yeah, we're back on SportsCenter all night with more from the NBA as Luka and Kyrie together and winning for the first time.
There is Powell, top of the arc. Luka against Wesley, spinning left, and from the foul line, knocks it in. 28 for Doncic. 8 of 16 shooting, 99-89.
Yeah, he finished with 28. Kyrie at 23. The All-Star pair won for the first time together in Dallas, leading the Mavericks past San Antonio about 142-116. Sees 9 points, stopping a 3-game slide in their return from the break. Spurs extended their franchise record skid to 15 games with their 20th loss in the last 21 as well. Former NBA champ and Spurs TV analyst Sean Elliott joins the show at TJ Maxx this morning at 9:30 Eastern, ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU. San Antonio among those teams, by the way, jockeying for that first pick. Luka, Ja, Jason Tatum, and Donovan Mitchell consider the future of the NBA. Sat down with our Malika Andrews, beginning with Tatum and Luka taking their games to another level just this past season.
What did you guys think watching him in the finals, watching you in the Western Conference Finals, that stage? What did that make you think about?
For me, it was special because, it was first time to get to the West Conference. I think I learned a lot, especially playing against Golden State, how they play, the championship mentality. So I learned a lot from that series.
For me, I'm tired of sitting at home watching everybody play, you know what I mean? And I've known JT, we've known each other since we was probably like 15, 16 years old. It was great to see, us as a group, as a young core, continuing to put on and do big things.
Well, Luka doesn't like being called Luka Magic, but he does magical things, it feels like, every night. Is there something when you guys are watching each other play where a move or something you want to steal from each other's game?
Yeah, I think just learning of everybody, just seeing how they play the game, You don't really try to steal moves, but you wanted to get learned. I can't be like this guy.
I can say for me, just speaking on these guys' game, just watching, just how they make, the game look so easy while they're out there, just playing at their own pace and, getting to whatever spot they want to on the floor, scoring at will.
With social media and everything being, on our phones, being able to see these guys each and every night, whether it's 70, 60, or, Josh jumping over somebody, it's like that healthy competition of like, damn, they did this night, I play tomorrow, let me try to go do something.
How about another star of the NBA with a comeback in Philly?
Here comes Morant. Morant into the lane. Leaner, short, tap out, rebound loose. Diving, Harden gets it. He fires. He goes to Embiid. Embiid for the jam. Oh, yeah. Joel Embiid dunks it. What a play. And the crowd is going bonkers at Philly.
As 97.5, the Fanatic. Joel Embiid, 27 points, 19 rebounds. Sixers storm back, beat the Grizzlies 110-105. Tobias Harris, 20, hit the go-ahead three late for Philadelphia. The Sixers trailed by 9 late in the game, but took over from there.
LeBron one-on-one against Anthony Lamb, kicks it to Beasley in the corner. Beasley's three-pointer, good again. Man, is he hot. 25 for Malik Beasley. 98-80, Lakers' biggest lead of the night.
That's 7:10 ESPN LA. Lakers placed 8 in double figures, led by Malik Beasley's 25 and beating the Golden State Warriors 124-111. LA still 13th in a 15-team conference. Let's just say things haven't gone perfectly according to plan for LeBron in LA. So says Jeff Van Gundy.
It hasn't been the overwhelming success that I think everyone expected it to be. And if not for the bubble championship, it would probably be viewed by even him as disappointing to have not made the playoffs, to have gone out early. And so, yeah, I think it would, I think he would be disappointed in how it's gone. Probably expected, more success.
Back on the floor, Larry Markkinen, 43. Jazz over the Thunder, 120-119 in a game where SGA had 39 in the loss.
Raptors with the ball. They inbound. Siakam's got it. On the far elbow, turns, fires at the free throw line, and he got the roll. Rim, glass, and in. Plus the foul and a three-point opportunity coming for Pascal Siakam.
That's Sportsnet 590, the Fan. Pascal Siakam, 26. Jakob Poeltl had 21 points, career high, 18 rebounds. Raptors over the Pelicans, 115-110. Final ticks in O-Town.
Fultz to trigger. Into Banchero. Here goes Paolo. Gets to the free throw line. Left-handed runner up. And a putback is good. A putback is good. Officials are looking around. It's Wendell Carter Jr. Ball game. Book it.
Yeah, that's your winner. Carter tip in. Paolo Banchero's missed layup at the buzzer. Orlando past Detroit 108-106. From the NBA to college basketball. Ho home, another top 25 taken down.
Harris dribbling out top, guarded by Bowie. Now to Shannon. Shannon dribbling, guarded by Audige. Minute 20 for the game, 16 to shoot. Shannon rolls right. Now back to the left, down the lane. Layup is good! There you go. Eat him up. Terrence Shannon eating the Wildcats alive in the paint.
As heard on Learfield, Terrence Shannon Jr. in his return from a concussion, 24 of his 26 in the second half. Illinois rallied from 18 down at the break, beating 21st ranked Northwestern 66-62. Logan Johnson scored 29, 15th ranked St. Mary's, blasting Pacific by 31.
Brandon Miller has it in his hands as he gets the ball into the front court. Miller directing traffic. 11, 10, 9. At 5, at 4, at 3, at 2 for the win. It is good. Let's get out of here. 0.8 to go.
As heard on Learfield a night ago, the Tide fend off the Gamecocks. Number 2 Alabama is a favorite currently to win the national championship. The school also faces intense scrutiny over 3 players' alleged involvement in a deadly shooting near campus on January 15th. That includes Brandon Miller, who scored 41 in Wednesday's OT win over South Carolina. Miller, in official testimony, the person who allegedly brought the gun used by Darius Miles. He's not been charged. No indication he will be. But might this impact his playing status down the stretch for a team with national title hopes? Coming up, NFL news as Eric Bieniemy moves to D.C. in a lateral move which could impact a head job soon. That's next. This is ESPN Radio.
Greeny.
The Giants should sign Daniel Jones and tag Saquon Barkley. I hate saying it, but the lot in life of the running back is to get used up and thrown away.
Weekday mornings at 10 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
Baseball, basketball, pickleball. Those are sports, and people love sports. If you love sports, you should know this. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. Does saving have anything to do with sports? No, but people love sports, so I'm yelling sports out. Hockey, swimming, golf. Not all sports have the word ball in there, so save big when you switch to Progressive. Go sports teams!
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary.
How long does it take to tackle a home project? With Angie, you could cross it off your list before this ad is over. Just tell us what you need, indoor or outdoor, repair or redesign, and we handle the rest, sending a top pro to get it done. You don't have to lift a finger, except to tap the screen or click the mouse. Plus, Angie is free to use. So bring us your next home project, and we'll bring it home. Download the app or go to Angie.com. That's ANGI.com to get started.
You can't miss a moment with Greeny.
You know how strongly I feel about the team that I follow in football, the New York Jets. If you need 25 things to win a Super Bowl, they've got like 22 of them. Overwhelmingly the most important one, they have the worst quarterbacks in the NFL as opposed to good ones. So the Aaron Rodgers thing is going to be a saga because he's so incredibly unpredictable.
Greeny, weekday mornings at 10 a.m. on 98.7 ESPN.
Individual rates, coverage offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions, not available in all areas. If you're a small business owner, listen up. Pi Insurance wants to give you one of those aha moments, the kind that could save you money. Workers' comp is probably one of the biggest costs you face, but did you know that insurance providers have flexibility in setting their prices? That's right, but many don't bother giving small businesses the savings you deserve. Instead, you can get lumped in with other businesses and overcharged. Pi Insurance was created to change that. With Pi, you get a quote tailored specifically to your business, and you could save up to 30% with no hassle and no hidden fees. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate. So your workers' comp audit experience is simplified. Take 3 minutes to see how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote at iwantpi.com. That's iwantpie.com. Are you kidding me? Gas prices are up again? Somebody has to do something.
Well, someone did. That's why I use Upside.
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that pays you back real money for every gallon of gas or diesel you buy. I just earned 25 cents back on every gallon of this tank.
Hold on. So the Upside app is free and you actually get cash back every time you use it? No strings attached?
Yep, it's awesome. Check it out. It only takes a couple of minutes to sign up.
Instead of just watching your dollars go into your tank, start putting money back into your wallet with the free app from Upside. With the price of gas today, it's big news and big money. To cash out of your Upside cash, just transfer it to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card. Upside users have already earned over $200 million. Now it's your turn. Download the free Upside app and get cash back on every gallon of gas. Use promo code APP70 for an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first fill up. That's code APP70. Use code APP70 for an extra 25 cents per gallon back in your first fill-up.
Every victory over cancer is worth celebrating. We celebrate every life saved by donating to Save Another.
It may not save my life. It may save someone you love.
Because of all the donations, mine is one of the lives that's been saved.
Life is worth celebrating. That's why ESPN and the V Foundation will never give up. Please give. Learn more at v.org.
The biggest names, the biggest games, they're all right here. This is 1050 ESPN, New York. This is SportsCenter all night on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. Here's Jim Pasquale.
And ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Insurance for motorcycles, boats, and RVs for protection on the road and on the water. See how much you can save at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and progressive.com.
half-hour headlines on SportsCenter all night.
Again, our top stories: NBA returns Thursday, took overtime for the Celtics to fend off the Pacers. 13th triple-double in the last 16 games for Nikola Jokic, and the Nuggets win in Cleveland. Kevin Durant ramping up for the Suns, eyeing his debut within the next week. And Kyrie and Luka win for the first time together while playing for the Mavs. And we're back on SportsCenter all night with more NFL news. The Rams' free spending ways now catching up with them. All-pro linebacker Bobby Wagner and the team parting ways. Rams approximately $13.7 million in salary cap space. They'll save about $5 million overall with the cut. That's a $7.5 million dead cap hit. Wagner just one season in L.A. after the 5-year, $50 million deal, 20 of which was guaranteed. He was a second-team All-Pro this past season. Eric Bieniemy leaving the Chiefs after 5 years and 2 titles as OC with KC. With that success, you'd think he'd be moving to a head job, but he's not. According to USA Today, Bieniemy has interviewed for a head coaching job 16 times with 15 teams, but has not landed one. The big knock on him seems to be Andy Reid calling the plays with the Chiefs. So he's making a lateral move away from Reid to the Washington Commanders. Michelle Steele with more on tonight's SportsCenter reports.
As offensive coordinator with the Kansas City Chiefs, Eric Bieniemy knows how to get the ball into the end zone.
Touchdown, Kansas City!
But when it comes to his own ambition to land a head coaching job, he's been held at the goal line. Today, the Washington Commanders introduced Bieniemy as their new offensive coordinator with an added responsibility he did not have in KC, calling plays.
Fired up for it, bro. Fired up and excited. Right now, I'm the offensive coordinator of the Washington Commanders. Okay, being a head coach, that's something, if that's to happen, it'll take care of itself. So all that stuff about being a head coach, we can talk about that next year sometime. Right now, I'm focused on the job at hand.
Bieniemy's situation stands out, and here's why. Of the 5 previous offensive coordinators who have won a Super Bowl, and he's won 2, 3 of those OCs have gone on to head coaching positions. Speculation over Bieniemy's prospects has become a familiar off-season theme.
He's not gotten the job yet. It's mind-boggling to me. He should be a head coach by now.
Right now, Bieniemy goes from working with Patrick Mahomes in a Chiefs offense that led the league in most categories to the Commanders, which ranked 20th in total offense and heads into next season with current QB1, Sam Howell.
Comfort is the enemy of progress, okay? So when it's all said and done with, I don't like being comfortable. So I'm about accepting challenges and moving forward.
In addition to an enhanced assistant head coach title, Bieniemy gets a multi-year deal in Washington. That's a departure from the series of one-year deals that he had signed in Kansas City. Now, I've talked to Andy Reid over the last couple of seasons about Eric Bieniemy's future, and he's always told me that whoever gets him is a lucky organization. As Commanders head coach Ron Rivera said today, we got our guy. I'm Michelle Steele, ESPN.
Yeah, and as you just heard, Bieniemy made it clear during his opening press conference that he's not focused on using this position to land a head job. Washington hiring Bieniemy last week to rejuvenate an offense that has struggled in Coach Ron Rivera's first 3 seasons, though Louis Riddick on Fitz and Harry on what bothers him most about this Bieniemy situation.
Stop being a race baiter. Stop trying to turn this into black and white. I'm not trying to. You really think I want to turn it into that? You really think I want to like lean on that kind of crap? You really think that me, and I'm talking about me now, me as a black man, you really think I want to like have to deal with that kind of crap all the time, whether it's with me, myself, and my own career pursuits, or me trying to support others? You really think we choose to have to want to deal with that kind of mess? We didn't make it up. It's not something that came out of thin air. This isn't some conspiracy theory. This isn't some flat earth theory. We're just kind of pulling this out of our rear end and going, hey, you know what? Let's just come up with this whole idea that people could kind of judge me based on my skin color. How does that sound? Woohoo! Let's just try that. No, this stuff has happened. Yeah. There's a long history of it having happened. So accept it and deal with it, especially when it seems like maybe that's the case.
Meantime, the Broncos hiring a former head coach, Vance Joseph, as defensive coordinator. He was a former Broncos head coach, by the way. He gets the job after spending the last 4 seasons as Cardinals DC. Sean Payton had interviewed a group of candidates that included ESPN analyst and former NFL head coach Rex Ryan.
everything that's happened to this point and hasn't happened for Lamar is actually the Ravens' fault.
I want him here, Steve wants him here, and Lamar wants to be here. So it's going to work out.
Yeah, let's turn that carousel a little bit more. Lamar Jackson, the Baltimore Ravens, where are they with regards to his contract status and his status potentially as the quarterback of the Ravens moving forward? Jeff Darlington on Kenny and Carlin.
With Lamar Jackson, I think there is going to be a lot of drama in the coming weeks, if not months, especially if they put the non-exclusive tag on him. Ultimately, whatever tag they put on him, all the talk that we have about the different tags and what it means, the end goal here is still to get Lamar on a long-term deal. I think it won't be easy because someone's going to have to cave. The Ravens are either going to have to say, we'll give you the guaranteed money you want, or Lamar's going to have to say, okay, let's restructure this so I'm getting every dime that I expect, but maybe over a longer term. But ultimately, getting to that point will be filled with drama, but still remains a strong possibility.
Look, the sticking point here is the guaranteed money, the Deshaun Watson contract. That's what's created this rift with Baltimore and their quarterback, Lamar Jackson. He wants it all fully guaranteed. Jeremy Fowler also with Kenny and Carlin.
Logic would say yes. Like, that makes total sense. When you're looking at it from the outside, I think that the mechanics of this with NFL teams is part of the problem. And the precedent here is, yes, Deshaun Watson got a fully guaranteed deal from Cleveland. Cleveland was okay doing that. 31 other teams were really upset about that because, typically you just don't see that. Guys get 50% guaranteed, 60%, whatever it is. And teams did not want to set that precedent for quarterbacks at that high of money, in part because you have to put it all up front in escrow, or most of it at least, in that first year. And, the risk of injury with football by nature makes doing that kind of deal tough.
So is there a team out there, Ravens or otherwise, that would offer him a fully guaranteed deal? Freddie Coleman has his doubts.
He's not getting that kind of guaranteed money. $230+ million guaranteed from the Baltimore Ravens. As a matter of fact, he's not getting that kind of guaranteed money from anybody in the National Football League.
I could agree with that.
Because I know if I'm an NFL owner and I'm saying, well, Patrick Mahomes is not getting that, and that's the biggest, baddest boy in the NFL jungle, I'm not giving that to you, no matter how talented you are. And it goes beyond how he plays. I know that can be part of the narrative because his risk of injury is going to be higher than anybody else's.
Absolutely.
Based on how he does things. But here's the risk when it comes to Lamar Jackson. You're betting on yourself, and I don't blame you. Here's the deal. There are going to be plenty of owners and GMs that are going to say, we like him, but not like him enough to be that desperate the way the Cleveland Browns were, giving Deshaun Watson that guaranteed money for him to leave and join it with that team with all the baggage that he brought with him.
Yeah, it hasn't quite worked out with that 1 year under the belt, at least a partial year with Watson and the Browns, but they did give him that guaranteed deal. Jason Fitz says all it takes is one.
Dan Snyder doesn't even know if he's still going to be allowed to own the Washington football team in a few months. So why wouldn't he go all in and say, you know what? It's just money. And by the way, I've got tons of it. Oh, and also, by the way, I'm with an organization that if I get to stay as an owner, I would like to be part of a new stadium. Having a big quarterback does that. And by the way, if they kick me out, then the ultimate moon them on the way out the door is to be like, nanny, nanny, boo, boo. How about that contract that I just signed that took this from being an outlier to precedent? Y'all can deal with that for the next decade. Eat it, right? Like, there's just this whole process for Dan Snyder that I love.
Yeah, the Ravens and Jackson at a point of no return, says Mike Greenberg.
The tag and trade is the likeliest scenario here. The way that thing went last year was predictable. It was easy to see coming. It was disastrous. I think that Lamar Jackson has played his final game in Baltimore. Everything could easily be solved, cured, whatever the word is, by them guaranteeing him the contract he wants. But I don't think they're going to do it. And I think he is a principled person. He has made this decision that he's not going to do it for anything other than anything less than that. Who am I to tell him that he's wrong? That's what he wants. I believe he will ultimately get it. But I think it's going to be somewhere else.
How about another quarterback situation? That by the Bay. Jimmy G is gone from the 49ers, now a free agent. Brock Purdy, elbow surgery. Trey Lance coming off surgery. Jeremy Fowler with Kenny and Carlin.
Certainly, Brock Purdy's going to need a long time to recover. He hopes to play this year, and that's the plan. But I think in the meantime, talking to some people around the league, they expect San Francisco to get a veteran
to sign a veteran quarterback to some degree of accomplishment. It might not be like a top guy, but like a Sam Darnold comes to mind, somebody like that, Mason Rudolph, somebody who, Mitchell Trubisky, if he's available. It could be that type of player, just to really serve as a backup / bridge option, knowing that Trey Lance, if he recovers from his ankle issues, will be fine, and that could be the starter for them. I mean, they're still invested in Trey Lance. He really has seen minimal time on the field. They invested a lot to get him, 3rd overall pick, so they do want to see what he can do eventually.
Yeah, this is a prime opportunity for Lance to reclaim that top spot.
With this injury, this allows Trey Lance to kind of gain some more leverage, right, from his position. Like, they moved up and chose Trey Lance to be their quarterback. It did up until this point, it hadn't worked out. Now this is an opportunity for Trey Lance to showcase and show that he is the guy for the job.
Now let's dig deeper. You heard Fowler talk about, do they bring in a vet as they have 2 young quarterbacks coming off surgery? Our quarterback question series turns to the Niners, a championship caliber team that needs to figure out who's under center for next season.
2 searches, separate, but intrinsically linked, have defined the 49ers for nearly 30 years. The quest for a 6th Lombardi trophy and the pursuit of a franchise-stabilizing quarterback. In the 28 years since the Niners last won the Super Bowl, 18 quarterbacks have started at least 1 game. This offseason, the Niners again find themselves in a quarterback quandary.
Where the heck do things stand with this 49ers quarterback battle?
Brock Purdy and Trey Lance, a combined 12 starts, including the playoffs between them, are the only quarterbacks under contract.
There's not an obvious solution.
Purdy staked his claim to the job by going 7-1 in his 8 starts.
Purdy going to throw for the end zone for McCaffrey. Makes the catch for a touchdown.
But a torn UCL in his right elbow threw a wrench in his likely coronation as starter.
With the 3rd pick, the San Francisco 49ers select Trey Lance.
Lance was the chosen one. San Francisco gave up 4 valuable picks to acquire.
And I'm super excited to be part of the organization.
He, too, has been unable to stay healthy and prove himself. Dreams of a hometown encore for Tom Brady vanished when he retired, and the Niners, with limited cap space and a lack of high-end draft picks, don't seem eager to go hunting for another high-priced veteran such as Aaron Rodgers. They will, however, have to add at least 1 more quarterback, perhaps a veteran free agent such as Jacoby Brissett or Matt Ryan, if they are available and the price is right. For now, all of that points to staying inside the building, where a healthy Purdy has the edge, but Lance will get the chance to make his case while Purdy recovers. If either can prove consistent, healthy, and, well, consistently healthy, the 49ers believe both searches can finally come to an end.
Yeah, so that's quarterback situation. For the Giants, it's a quarterback and running back scenario as their top 2 offensive players are both pending free agents. Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley. Greeny has a quick fix there.
The Giants should sign Daniel Jones and tag Saquon Barkley. I hate saying it because it's just not fair to them. But the lot in life of the running back is to get used up and thrown away. That is what the Giants, I think, should do. They made the mistake of taking him with the 2nd pick overall, and that is not a value judgment on him. But that said, the definition of the year-to-year position is running backs. So if I'm the Giants and I have my dream scenario, I am signing Daniel Jones and I'm tagging Saquon Barkley.
The window for the tag is currently open, lasting till March 7th. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, ESPN Radio, ESPN2, ESPNU, this morning, 6 to 10 a.m. Eastern, talking NFL. Kimberly A. Martin. Headlines, the guest list at 7:15 Eastern. Coming up, more college hoops. The night's top plays and the night on ice. That's next. This is SportsCenter All Night on ESPN Radio.
Coming up Friday, which NFL team has the most questions to answer this offseason? Could it be someone who played in a Super Bowl? My answer may shock you. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, ESPNU.
More SportsCenter All Night. Next. The Michael K. Show is on.
It's more in the $41-42 million range. The New York Giants looking more in the high 30 for Daniel Jones.
If I'm the Giants, I'm making the 190 over 5, take it or leave it. And if you leave it, we're going to franchise you. I'm not moving a penny above it and see what he does. I think this is a dead-on offer. $190 million over 5 years, $38 million a year to me is fair.
Don't miss the Michael K. Show. Weekdays at 3 on 98.7 ESPN.
Are you kidding me? Gas prices are up again? Somebody has to do something.
Well, someone did. That's why I use Upside.
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that pays you back real money for every gallon of gas or diesel you buy. I just earned 25 cents back on every gallon of this tank.
So the Upside app is free and you actually get cash back every time you use it? No strings attached?
Yep, it's awesome. Check it out. It only takes a couple of minutes to sign up.
Instead of just watching your dollars go into your tank, start putting money back into your wallet with the free app from Upside. With the price of gas today, it's big news and big money. To cash out of your Upside cash, just transfer it to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card. Upside users have already earned over $200 million. Now it's your turn. Download the free Upside app and get cash back on every gallon of gas. Use promo code ESPN17 for an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first fill up. That's code ESPN17. Use code ESPN17 for an extra 25 cents per gallon back in your first fill up. Cashback's not available in gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
The college basketball season is heating up, which means it's time for the Wendy's Wooden Watch. You see, in 2002, I was honored to have received the John R. Wooden Player of the Year Award, which is presented to the country's most outstanding men's and women's player, who is also making progress towards earning a degree. This year, players like Drew Timme, Armando Bacot, Aaliyah Boston, and Caitlin Clark are vying for the trophy. So who will take it home? The 2023 John R. Wooden Men's and Women's Player of the Year is presented by Wendy's.
Wendy's 2 for $6 lets you mix and match some of our best items, like Dave Single with a 10-piece crispy nugs, medium strawberry lemonade with a spicy chicken sandwich, spicy chicken with a Dave Single with a strawberry lemonade, strawberry lemonade, if you're into that. Chicken Sam, crispy nugs, strawberry lemonade, Dave's, nugs, Sam. Whew! Pick what you want at a price you want. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's 2 for $6. For a limited time, price participation may vary at U.S. Wendy's on the card only. Single item at regular price.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep your operation running, no matter the weather or supply chain hiccup. But we get you, Raymond in Buffalo, Maria in Miami, and Jules in Troy, taking control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you with high-quality supplies for every industry, plus real-time product availability and access to experts ready to help. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Don't miss the #1 rated afternoon drive show in New York. It's the Michael K. Show, and it's every weekday at 2:55 on 98.7 ESPN.
This is SportsCenter all night on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Here's Jim Basketball.
Yeah, we're back on SportsCenter all night with some late-night college hoops.
Hawkins dribbles the air out of the ball at the top of the key. Hooks it past to Clark, rotates it left. 3 from Campbell. Good! With a swish!
Big-time 3 from Campbell.
Boy, and he just was breathing so easy when he took it, too. 7-point lead.
That's Josh Lewin from Learfield. Tiger Campbell at 18. Jaime Jaquez at 23. Fourth-ranked UCLA, 78-71 at Utah. They're 24-4 this season.
Bolton calls for it. Gets it. Refuses the screen, dribbles the right wing back to Timme, leans in, wouldn't go. Tip attempt is good for Drew. 64-37. The numbers piling up for Timme. 22 points now, 13 boards.
He finished with 22. As heard from Tom Hudson. Learfield led 4 in double figures. Number 12, Gonzaga. Now 24-5, 97-72 over San Diego. Michigan's Jim Harbaugh says running back Blake Corum will miss spring to rehab his knee. He was a Heisman candidate a season ago before injuring the knee November 19th against Illinois. Tried to play against Ohio State, bowed out of that game early. How about the night on ice? Capitals captain Alex Ovechkin returned against the Ducks after missing 4 games following the death of his father. The Caps have gone 0-4 in those matchups. Well, the Ducks handed the reeling Capitals their 6th straight loss 4-2. They also traded Dmitry Orlov and Garnett Hathaway to the Bruins for Craig Smith, and 3 picks, a first, second, and third spread over 3 drafts. The Bruins won in Seattle Thursday. They have a league-best 93 points. OT winners, Dawson Mercer, New Jersey, rallied late to beat Los Angeles 4-3. Tage Thompson, a hat trick, his 4th of the season. Sabres over the Lightning 6-5 in overtime. And Elias Pettersson scored 4:45 into overtime. Vancouver passed St. Louis 3-2.
Puck at center ice, and here he comes. League's leading scorer, looking for 4 points tonight. Winds his way in, deeps and scores. Makes it look too easy. Connor McDavid on a penalty shot makes it 7-1.
Yeah, he does indeed. AT&T Sportsnet. Connor McDavid scored twice, pushes his career best total to 46 goals. Edmonton blasting Sidney Crosby in the Pen 7-2. Oilers 10-1-5 over their last 16. The night's top sounds all about, well, it includes an OT winner in Vegas and some highlights of the NBA's return to play for the season stretch drive. Kevin Winter has the details.
Number 5.
Jim, we have 5 pieces of top sound from Thursday night. 4 come from the hardwood, but we're going to start on the ice. The Calgary Flames and the Vegas Golden Knights, a game you could have watched on ESPN television. They go to overtime, and Vegas gets the game winner from Alex Pietrangelo on Fox Sports 98.9.
Eichel already with a goal today. He'll skate intentionally to the neutral zone, all the way back to his own blue line. Now he turns up ice. Calgary changing 3-on-2 across the line. In the middle, Marchessault. He hits the crossbar. It's in the goal. Jonathan Marchessault in overtime. Vegas 4, Calgary 3.
Number 4.
All right, Jim, to the hardwood, where the first time since the All-Star break, the NBA was back in 9-game slate Thursday night. One of the highlights, the team with the best record of the NBA, the Boston Celtics, visiting the Indiana Pacers. Indiana knocked down 22 threes. They forced overtime, and in the extra session, it was Boston's 20 offensive rebounds, all told for the game. Not overtime, that's a record, but all told for the game. Their 20th came in overtime and helped them get the win. Jason Tatum on the putback, John Wallach, Cedric Maxwell on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Smart has the basketball in the biggest possession of the night for the Celtics. Smart kicks it to Brogdon. Up top, it's Tatum. 7 to shoot it. Tatum looking to go. 4-3. Missed it. Air ball, but Smart has the rebound. Back up at the shot clock buzzer. No. Tipped in by Tatum. Timeout, Rick Carlisle.
Number 3.
Jim, north of the border, the Toronto Raptors played host to the New Orleans Pelicans, and Toronto continued New Orleans' slide. The call from Paul Jones and company on Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
Pascal's on the logo at center. Trent sets a screen. Pascal going at Herb Jones in the paint. Pass out far sideline. Trent 3-ball. Yes, sir! Monster triple from Gary Trent Jr.
Number 2.
Jim, another overtime game was Utah playing host to Oklahoma City. David Locke at the call for the Jazz on 97.5 The Zone.
Jazz runs split action off Marketing. He strains up. He works. He drive steps. He hooks. He misses. Tip follow, no. Loose ball. Kessler has it. Puts on the deck. Powers through traffic, no. Follows up and in and ties the game. Walker Kessler.
Number 1.
Jim, finally we go to Philadelphia where the Grizzlies were taking on the Sixers. Philadelphia found themselves down by as many as 17. Then slowly but surely, the Sixers worked their way back to a come-from-behind win, captivated and punctuated by Joel Embiid. With Tom McGinnis on the call on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Here comes Morant. Morant in the lane. Leaner, short. Tap out, rebound, loose. Diving, Harden gets it. He falls. He goes to Embiid. Embiid for the jam. Oh, yeah. Joel Embiid dunks it. What a play. And the crowd is going bonkers in Philly.
Big comeback in Philly. Plenty of NBA and NFL talk. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max this morning. ESPN Radio, ESPN2, ESPNU. The guest list starts with Kimberly A. Martin, ESPN NFL reporter at 7:15 Eastern. Andre Snellings, ESPN senior writer at 8:15 and 8:45. And Sean Elliott, a former Spurs champ and current Spurs TV analyst at 9:30 Eastern. Keep in mind, they lost to the Mavs, tied with the Rockets for the league's worst record. Worst 3 teams, 14% chance to win the lottery and top overall pick. Can you say Victor Wembanyama? USA basketball clinching a berth in this summer's FIBA World Cup. And again, the NBA returned on Thursday. Celtics win in Indy. Jokic another triple-double. And Luka and Kyrie win together for the first time as Mavs. Thanks for staying up all night. For producer Cam Ursery and technical director Kevin Wall, I'm Jim Basketball. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max is next.
Coming up next, Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max on ESPN Radio and ESPN2.
Huge debt, a little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career and they talked to me about it.
He was done in just months.
I did do it online.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at My Computer Career.
It worked for me and I know it can work for you.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone, America's #1 brakes destination. We have the pads, rotors, drums, shoes, and brake fluids to improve your stopping power. Right now, save 15% when you get any 2 Duralast rotors with a set of Duralast brake pads. Missing a tool? Ask about our free Loan-A-Tool program and borrow the tools you need to get the job done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Claim based on data from the MPD Group 2021. Deposit required for Loan-A-Tool.
The Bart and Hahn Show.
I'm good with missing out on Derek Carr. I'm not saying he's not a decent quarterback. I think he's right there at the average point. I've won with less than average quarterbacks with a great defense, run game, and a good offensive line. But none of those guys that I was playing with, whether it was Mark Sanchez, a young Joe Flacco, whether it was Steve McNair, whether it was Chris Redmond, Troy Smith, none of those guys were making $45 million a year.
Bart Scott and Alan Hahn. Weekdays at noon on 98.7 ESPN.
Do you want to gain stability, benefits, and experience? As a youth development specialist with the City of New York, you can build a solid civil service career working with New York City's youth. Start earning over $47,000 in 3 months. You can get a $2,500 bonus, earn a pension, paid overtime, health care, and in just 5 years, over $60,000. Apply now at nyc.gov/YDS. Make a difference in the lives of our youth. Become a youth development specialist today. Learn more at nyc.gov/YDS.
Hi, everyone, and welcome. If you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, listen up. We have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions for free. They'll tell you if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-314-3043 now. I'm here with spokesman for the firm, John Wolf. So, John, tell everyone listening who should call in.
Well, Maria, first off, thank you for having me here with you. We always enjoy answering the listeners' questions. Now, as far as who should call in, anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault, give us a call right now. We have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions and tell you how much your case is potentially worth. Call 800-314-3043.
Thanks, John. You heard it, folks. Take advantage of this opportunity and call now to speak with a live agent for free. Call 800-314-3043.
Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center. May not be available in all states.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You're listening to 1050 ESPN, your home for New York Islanders hockey. WEPN, New York, a Good Karma Brands radio station. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
It hasn't been the overwhelming success that I think everyone expected it to be.
23 of the most important games of my career. It's the type of mindset that I have, and
hope the guys will have coming back off the break.
I got it signed today.
If you want to beat the champ, you got to beat the champ.
Time is of the essence. I'm progressively improving.
If you take away that bubble championship, it has been a disaster.
If not for the bubble championship, it would probably be viewed by even him as disappointing.
I'm not scared to say it. I'm calling a spade a spade.
They're 13th in the Western Conference. They are struggling to make the play-in game, which only makes it even more incredible that they are now still sitting at the throne of being the most relevant team in the NBA and in NBA history.
Time is of the essence. I'm a blessing in Balenciaga. Diamonds are impressive, but their best friends are expensive. Drama.
Yeah, right. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, ESPN Radio. You get to be able to understand the lyrics. Every generation, I feel like, complains that they can't understand what the new generation's saying.
No, I can understand Lil Wayne.
Tired of contestants investing.
Well, and Lil Wayne is one of the all-time greats.
Opens up his mouth, right?
Not relying on.
I'm not like, huh? What did he say?
Auto-tune or whatever. All right. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max is presented by Progressive Insurance. So, Key, first game for the Lakers, man, after the All-Star break with the new acquisitions and all that, and early on, D'Angelo Russell rolls his ankle. That could be a problem, but he's going to be okay according to the X-rays.
Lakers and ankles,
unreal. They beat the Warriors though without Steph, 124-111. So look, that's what you're supposed to do. To me, last night, Key, was a must-win game for the Lakers because when you look at 23 games left and you want to avoid the play-in, you need 15 of those. Not that easy, right? So you got to, when the Warriors don't have Steph, you got to win that game. And they did handily. 8 players with double figures. Malik Beasley, 25. AD and LeBron shot 8 of 25. It's their worst combined field goal percentage of the game together since becoming teammates. But again, Malik Beasley had 25, and they won.
They're coming off a little bit of a layoff, too. So I'm not going to get spooked because of the way he shot the ball.
But, what's been the problem all year really is that all the assets they put into acquiring Russell Westbrook, and he doesn't shoot it from range well. The Lakers shot a season-high 53% from 3. It's 16 of 30. Only the second time in the entire season they shot 50% or better from 3. So you can weather a low shooting percentage from the floor night from LeBron and AD.
Yeah, when somebody else can help carry. That's part of the problem with good teams. If you top heavy and then there's nothing else around you, you're going to lose those games if those top heavy guys perform poorly and the help doesn't do anything. But in this case, the help actually came to play.
Westbrook was a disastrous fit. Like everyone was like, what are they doing? And I was figuring, they must have a reason. They'll figure it out. It'll be this. No. It was sometimes the obvious thing is the right thing. Westbrook was an awful fit on this team.